Hey y'all, my name is ALEXYS ROMO. I am the founder of Black Thumb Farm. We are a nonprofit organization in the San Fernando Valley of Los Angeles, and we work with youth ages 14 to 18 to empower them with skills to take back their health as our main goal, as well as provide safe green space for them to commune with nature and build on their farming and gardening knowledge. So we teach sustainable closed loop farming and gardening methods. We have a pretty big focus on indigenous practices, and we're really about getting kids like connected to land, connected to nature, having positive experiences in nature, and being able to take care of themselves, take care of their communities, and give back in ways that feel vital and important to them. So we have several programs we run that we kind of empower them through, but yeah, we love working with our youth, and we're hyper local, and we're all about giving back to our community here. So I work in the same neighborhood I grew up in, and it's life giving, it's life generating, and yeah, we're growing a lot of food. So that's what I do. I am part of the cohort 5 in training in applied agroecology through the MESA program, and I'm here to talk to y'all about biological control. Biological control is awesome and gross and cool, but if you Google it, it might be hard to look at. So biological control is the use of living organisms to suppress pest populations, making them less damaging than they would otherwise. So it is the idea of using something that is living in nature and would be great at repelling or controlling pests, as opposed to something that is chemically engineered and would be harmful and damaging. Biological control could be used against any kinds of pests. They've made biological control for, I mean, honestly, anything. It's great to think about what a pest is, because a pest is basically something that is deterring you from accomplishing your mission when you talk about agriculture and ecology. So a pest could also be something that is beneficial in a different ecosystem. It could just be something that's not beneficial to the one that you are trying to create and work with. So there's 3 main parts to this. There's importation of natural enemies. There's the augmentation, and it's the direct manipulation of natural enemies to increase their effectiveness. And conservation of natural enemies involves either reducing factors which interfere with natural enemies or providing resources that natural enemies need in their environment. The number 1 use in agriculture for biological control would be IPM, which is integrated pest management. Addresses serious ecological problems created by extensive use of powerful chemical pesticides. So IPM is a massive alternative to utilizing like dangerous pesticides, which are used all over the world. Specifically in the United States, we have very loose regulations on these things compared to some other countries and continents like Europe and Asia. Ladybugs are a hero when it comes to IPM, because they will wipe out an entire aphid population in some pretty good timing, and it's just a great way. Ladybugs are a great way to get rid of an aphid issue you might have. There are lots of different like natural and organic methods to using ladybugs, but one thing is you can purchase ladybugs. They have farms everywhere, and you can purchase these and just release them into your garden or your farm if you're having some serious aphid issues. Same thing can be done with something like a praying mantis, which will feed on lots of different garden pests. So IPM is really about controlling your pests with something that is going to be less harmful. I wouldn't say that all of the methods that are used for controlling your pests that are considered like an integrated management or a biological or even an organic way are necessarily the best. I think it's really about weighing the pros and cons of any kind of pest management. So even something like neem oil, you might want to say neem oil is a great way to get rid of aphids or spider mites that are climbing on your plants, but neem oil can also burn your plants if you use it too often or use it too late in the day or you use too much of it. So it is a great way of managing pests, but it's great to see and find out like, well, is this the best way for me to manage this plant or these pests in this season in this area? So my favorite ejemplo is a parasitic wasp. So there's a specific parasitic wasp that is attracted to the flower of alyssum, and this parasitic wasp will, this is gross, but it will lay its eggs inside of an aphid, and as the eggs hatch, basically the babies like eat their way out. So that's one way you could manage pests and really decimate a population of aphids. There's lady beetles, and also these parasitic wasps work really well on mealybugs. We have alyssum all over our farm just because it's wonderful as like a ground cover and helps retain moisture in the soil, but it's also amazing at just attracting this parasitic wasp that loves to live in it. So that's one way that we try to use biological control and manage these pests. So while biological control can be effective, some strategies have led to the introduction of invasive species into novel habitats, such as venomous cane toads introduced in Australia in the 1930s from Hawaii to reduce the effects of beetles on sugarcane plantations. But the cane toads have been responsible for a variety of ills, such as population declines in native prey species like bees and other small animals, and population drops in amphibian species that compete with them, and the poisoning of species that consume them. So this was like a great example of bringing in something that they were trying to use as pest management and trying to biologically control, right? Instead of like spraying off all of these beetles on the sugarcane plantations. But the negative effects of that were we decimated other amphibian populations, and you had a decline in prey species, which was harmful. So yeah, there are pros and cons, and before you do any kind of biological control, you really have to figure out what's sustainable long term and the long term effects of this kind of control, because it's not always beneficial, but it is effective. Here are some resources for pest management and biological control that I used. Here's where you can find our work. So like I mentioned, I am the founder of Black Thumb Farm. We're an awesome organization that teaches regenerative farming to BIPOC youth, specifically the ages 14 to 18 in the San Fernando Valley of Los Angeles. We're all about creating safe green space for people, specifically people of color. We have a lot of fun. It's really awesome. We have a school garden program called Black Thumb Gardens that we're launching out. We do community events seasonally. We have workshops. We do volunteer days. We have a summer CSA program, and we're just really making the most out of our little urban farm. And we've got a lot of really amazing youth coming through. So yeah, you can follow us on Instagram, check out our website, sign up for our newsletter that comes monthly. And if you have any questions or inquiries, or you want to come check us out, you can go ahead and send us an email at info@blackthumbfarm.org. And yeah, biological control, y'all. Take care.